Hey, it's me. Welcome to Trump Mafia. Now, there's something that I've noticed with all these meltdowns by the liberal media and reacting to Trump or pushing liberal narratives. And maybe you have a better feeling about this than I do, and you may be watching more CNN or MSNBC because I really don't watch it. But I did see a couple of clips. And I noticed also from articles that Jake Tapper, his real name is Jakob, by the way, he's Jewish, he's been freaking out a lot. Not only on Twitter, but also on his show, or when he's co-anchoring on CNN. And doesn't it seem like he's freaking out a lot? Like abnormally freaking out, and almost all the time? It's almost like he's trying to get attention, or he's trying to save his job. Is he like fearful that he may get fired very soon? Did he get burned by his bosses that he wasn't aggressive enough? Or is he being blamed? Or is he trying to get street cred? Then you have that Shepard Smith at Fox News. Now, I always saw this guy as a liberal, okay, since many, many moons ago. So it's not a surprise he would criticize Trump. But I also noticed that he seems to be auditioning to go to CNN. And maybe he also feels like the axe is about to come down on his gay neck. And then you have Chris Wallace. You know, it's so pitiful. When I saw him talking to Rush Limbaugh, and I saw some headlines, he's freaking out, being rude against Reince Priebus, the White House Chief of Staff. Really rude, right? This guy's shilling for liberals, there's no doubt about it. And I think it's because he's out of the loop. He's not like his father, right? Who's like one of those bourbon drinking, I don't know, guys with gravitas, right? And he'd be in your face, whoever you are. But Chris Wallace is really a weasel. And he's like a stay-at-home kind of old man. And, you know, I just have the feeling that he doesn't get invited to parties, and even if he gets invited, he doesn't know how to do the small talk, or, you know, to get into a group or whatnot. And certainly I don't think he's the kind of guy that politicians are spilling the beans to or giving him scoops or whatnot. I just think he's totally out of the loop, and he's not in it, you know. So if he's doing Fox News Sunday, then he doesn't have much, so he's there, you know, Googling or something before the show, because it always comes out that he's just peddling liberal narratives or stuff that's trending, and he doesn't have anything special to offer. So I believe that it's kind of silly for Fox News to keep on the air someone that is that disconnected, right? And Bill O'Reilly, I already said, I have a feeling that this guy, his contract's almost up. Will he renew it? I mean, this guy is really getting old now. And no offense to old people, but, you know, he's kind of slipping. And he's still a smart guy or whatnot, but I never watch his show, and I don't care for the factor. And he's catering to liberals often. I mean, he failed so many times when interviewing Obama to really nail the guy. And he doesn't want to offend half of his audience, right? But I don't know if he can stay at Fox News, but who can they replace Bill O'Reilly with? Like I said, it can't just be Lou Dobbs or Judge Janine, or it has to be somebody that can really pull in a lot of people, right? So Bill O'Reilly has that because he's been there for 10,000 years, right? And he built up a loyal following, and you do have to admire the guy, right? Doing that show for so long, and every weekday, it's not easy. I mean, the guy does have chops, right? You do have to give him that. So how do you get someone that can pull in a lot of people and do great interviews and do great arguments or debates, wow, it's going to be very difficult. So I'm curious about that, but I really have the feeling that, nobody cares about his killing books anymore. And basically, now it's just like a book club. So Bill O'Reilly, I think, will just gracefully retire. And so let's move to MSNBC. I also don't watch, but I used to watch it like 8 years ago. I was more interested to hear their side. Now I can predict it all. I don't even have to watch. That's how good I am now. Hilarious. No, but you have to admit, if after 8 years these people are always doing the same thing over and over again, then you don't have to watch them anymore to know exactly what they're going to say, right? And you know that. I know that. It's nothing new. Now, Rachel Maddow seems to be unsure as well of her future. These political campaigns are really the time when these anchors and reporters, make their moves to get a promotion, to move to another network, and, to ask that question or to do that report that, wins the Pulitzer Prize or something that everybody goes, oh, did you see what Rachel Maddow did, right? Or, oh, Jake Tapper. And it seems if they can't achieve it, and now the election is over, how can they move ahead, right? Suddenly they feel they're so unimportant, right? Jake Tapper's feeling it, that he has no influence whatsoever. Rachel Maddow's feeling it. Chris Matthews. All of them. And some of them are acting out like Jake Tapper, freakishly melting down every day. And Wolf Blitzer is the only one that seems to be kind of laid back, right? And there must be a reason for that. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't really know the guy. But Rachel Maddow is also like wondering, do I have any kind of an influence whatsoever? And, people don't even want to go on her show. I mean, she was bowing, if you can imagine that, to Kellyanne Conway for coming on her show. And now everybody in the media is trying to blacklist her and whatever. But at the time, you had Rachel Maddow bowing to her. Thank you for coming on my show. Finally, she can get like somebody's in the inside or someone who's close to Trump to be there, right? So you look at all these other media stars who realize that they're not all that, and they don't have the influence. And then you have has-beens like Keith Olbermann, saying, hey, I'm still here. But none of them have any influence. And it seems the media is really not understanding how to deal with President Trump. I mean, they've never been called out like this. They've never been so embarrassed by anyone. And it's like holding a mirror up to these people, right? You're a bunch of hacks. You're lying, and you're not doing your job, and you're not journalists, and you're fake news, and they were living in a bubble, where they're the fourth estate, and I'm anchoring a program for NBC, and I'm like, wow, doesn't really mean much anymore, right? And so, yeah, Jake Tapper's the one that really stands out. Like, he feels like he's about to get fired, like, next week, and he's trying very hard to get attention or to get his numbers up or whatnot. Because if you look at the ratings, of course it's all Fox News. Jake Tapper and Anderson Cooper are way down at the bottom. I mean, it is really scary. When you see those numbers come in, you feel completely worthless, right? Like Jake Tapper. Okay, you have a nation of 300 plus million people, and just like 600,000 people watch his show. I mean, that is literally peanuts. Okay, I mean, embarrassing, right? So let's see how it plays out with the media. Who's gonna get the axe, right? And who's gonna replace who? and that will all soon be happening.